The United States thought it could pressure India with trade tariffs, but India didn't even flinch. It stood its ground and struck back. This isn't just a story about taxes or oil. It's about power, pride, and who really sets the rule in the world today.
50% tariff on India for buying Russian oil. That's going to scare a country with 5,000 years of history. India looked at him like, bro, we survived the British. We can survive your math.
India has made its point very clear. It will not be pushed back around. And that bold, fearless stance is sending shockwaves around the whole globe.
Trump thought that he's the bee's knees, that he could boss Bharat around, then he's got a rude shock. Despite Trump holding out the threat of secondary sanctions for continuing to do business with Russia, Bharat has not bent much less court.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I am Anamika and today we are breaking down a global clash that's grabbing headlines everywhere. From Washington to New Delhi, a high-stakes confrontation is unfolding, one that goes far beyond trade tariffs. The US tried to corner India, and India, it hit back. In this video, we'll unpack what triggered the showdown, how India responded with a strategy and facts, and why China suddenly stepped into the picture. What it all means for the future global power. Buckle up, as this is a story of diplomacy, strategy, and bold leadership. The tension began when the United States slapped a 25% tariff on Indian goods, citing India's continued purchase of discounted Russian oil. White House trade advisor Peter Navarro accused India of acting as a laundromat for the Kremlin.
They don't need the oil. It's a refining profiteering scheme. It's a laundromat for the Kremlin.
What does that all mean? The allegation was that India was buying cheap Russian crude, refining it in domestic refineries, and then selling the finished products like diesel and other petroleum products at a profit to the Western market. The US framed this as indirectly funding the Russia's war in Ukraine. But let's just pause and witness this. The same country lecturing India on fairness made its billion using the exact same playbook: buying cheap, flipping for profit, and controlling global markets. Take the US steel and aluminium industries in the early 2000s. American companies imported raw materials at low cost, processed them domestically, and sold finished products worldwide at massive markups, often undercutting the local producers in Asia and Africa. Now suddenly, when India is doing exactly the same thing, it's a scandal. If hypocrisy had a podium, the US would be giving keynotes. India didn't stop at fiery words. It pulled a move straight out of the playbook of power politics. From August 25, 2025, most international postal services to the US were suspended. Not a glitch, not a delay, a deliberate pause. And why? Because Washington thought it could quietly slip in new custom rules and extra duties. New Delhi's answer was blunt. We set the rules here and not you. Sure, the people's parcels and letters got caught in the crossfire. But make no mistake, this was less about postage and more about posture. And while the US fumed, India doubled down the Russian oil. 35% of its crude imports in the first half of 2025 directly came from Moscow. And the logic? It's simple. Cheap oil fuels India's growth, keeps inflation in check, and strengthens its bargaining power. Politics aside, it's survival economics. The message couldn't be clearer. Pressure all you want, but India won't bend. It'll buy, refine, and rise on its own terms. Foreign Minister Jaishankar fired back with a sharp clarity. It's funny to have people who work for a pro-business American administration accusing others of doing business.
It's funny to have people who work for pro-business American administration accusing other people of doing business.
He set the record straight. India isn't the largest buyer of Russian oil. It's China. And we are not funding any wars. His message was simple. If you have a problem with our oil or refined products, just don't buy it.
If you have a problem buying oil from India, oil or refined products, don't buy it. Nobody forced you to buy it.
This is the new India. Confident, proactive, and unwilling to bend. Every move and statement of this powerful country sets its own rule, and nobody else decides to mend them. Here's the twist that nobody saw coming. China, India's rival across a tense border, suddenly stepping up as an ally in New Delhi's fight with Washington. Not out of friendship, not out of trust. It's because the strategy demands it.
China and India are each other's important trading partners. China-India friendship benefits Asia.
The timing is no accident. The US hit India with 25% tariffs and then cried a foul over the Russian oil. China saw the opening and grabbed it. And why not? Because nothing exposes American hypocrisy better than this. The same country that built its own empire buying cheap, flipping for profit, and bending global trade rules is now lecturing India on fairness. That's not diplomacy, that's pure theater. So China makes its move. First, it tells the whole world that US can't be trusted, hoping to drive a wedge between India and Washington. Then it offers to buy the very same Indian goods that America slapped the tariffs on. It's a calculated way to pull India into a closer orbit. And you know what the biggest irony is? The neighbor India clashes with at the border suddenly looks more dependable than the so-called world leader holding the moral high ground. And the stage is set. Prime Minister Modi heads to Tianjin for the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit. This isn't just a handshake or a photo ops. It's a signal to the entire world. India won't play anyone else's script. In this new game, India isn't a pawn. It's playing like a king.
In coming days, Prime Minister Modi will travel to Tianjin to attend the SCO summit. I believe this visit will inject new impetus.
This whole clash sends one clear message. India isn't just sitting quietly in the sideline anymore. It's taking control. The government is making decisions based on its own interest and not on what others expect us to do. Look at the actions. When the US slapped tariffs and tried to change the rules, India didn't just complain. It suspended the postal services to America. That wasn't random. It was India saying in its own way, we can push back too, and we'll do it on our own terms. The same attitude shows with China as well. Even though the talks are happening, India won't pretend that things are normal until the border dispute gets fixed. The message is very simple. Progress? Yes, we want that, but only if our conditions are respected.
भारत अपने किसानों के, पशुपालकों के और मछुआरे भाई बहनों के हितों के साथ कभी भी समझौता नहीं करेगा.
The lesson for the world? Don't let these small trade problems turn into a big issue of national pride. The US may lecture about fairness, but India's message is very clear. Rules only matter if they apply to everyone equally. This is India's moment, and it's calling the shots. Confident, bold, and showing everyone it won't be pushed around. In the end, the tariff showdown proves one thing beyond any doubt. India is a nation that stands firm, speaks boldly, and refuses to be pushed around. The current government has shown that it's willing to take tough, calculated decisions, defending national interest with strategy, facts, and unwavering dignity. India didn't just react to tariffs. It reshaped the conversation, sending a clear signal to the whole world. Respect our terms, respect our sovereignty, or just step aside. Now it's your turn. What do you think about India's this move? And share your thoughts in the comment sections. Please like and subscribe as well. One thing is very clear. India is setting the rules, standing tall, and the world is taking notice. This is just the beginning, and the next move will be watched closely around the whole globe.